Good afternoon, Anjini.
Good afternoon, Bob.
Anjini, I wonder if you could start by telling us what your subjects are and why you chose them.
My first teaching subject is chemistry, and I chose chemistry because I absolutely loved learning about it in high school and in university. I thought that it provided so many opportunities, whether it was to learn visually through diagrams or to do hands-on activities like lab reports, and I got the privilege of as well doing a thesis report. And chemistry is really all around us, and as a teacher I really hope to show my students my passion and get them excited to learn about chemistry, because once you have an understanding for chemistry, you can learn a lot about the world around you and make environmentally conscious choices, which I think is becoming more and more prevalent as time goes on. My second teaching subject is French, and I loved learning a second language. Part of the reason for that was because as we start traveling more and using more social media, we come into a world where you can really talk to anybody really anywhere. And with French, I'm able to contact and talk to a lot more people, learn their perspectives on issues, learn about cultures in different countries, and really understand the current issues that are affecting people, whether it's in one country or really around the world.
Okay, thank you. Could you tell us about a lesson that you've taught on one of your practicum that went really well and why you think it did so?
On my last practicum, I was teaching a grade 10 science class, and to teach them about chemical reactions, I used an analogy. So I used a Justin Bieber's relationship history to teach them about a single displacement reaction. And this worked really well because I knew my students loved this celebrity as well as other YouTubers, which I incorporated into different reactions. And by using these celebrities, so Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez plus Hailey Baldwin, and the final product was Justin Bieber with Hailey Baldwin plus Selena Gomez, students were able to conceptually understand what a single displacement reaction was. And once they had that understanding, I was able to incorporate chemical formulas and chemical names where they were able to still understand the concept. And it worked really well because when students were working on sample problems, I heard them talking to one another. Oh yeah, this is the Justin Bieber situation. And then the other student was like, oh yeah, it's single displacement. And this wasn't something that just happened on the day when I taught the lesson, when they were studying for the test, or when I incorporated this concept into future lessons. If a student was stuck, I'd be like, do you remember the celebrities? And they'd be like, oh yeah, the Justin Bieber situation. And I'd be like, exactly. And so when I was able to cater to their interests, the concept stuck with them and they were really able to understand it.
Okay, thank you very much. Could you now tell us about a lesson that perhaps didn't go as well and what caused that?
So I was teaching balancing chemical equations. I knew that a lot of students in the past had struggled with this concept. So I tried to create a hands-on activity that would work well for all students. So I used paper clips as a way of demonstrating balancing chemical reactions, and they would add paper clips of different colors to show the different elements and the different compounds. This worked well for some students. However, it did hinder the understanding for some students. And once I started walking around, discussing with them their understanding, and just observing them, I was able to understand that this didn't work well for a lot of students. So at that point, I modified the lesson and gave them the option to either draw and use different colors to demonstrate the balancing, which worked well for some, or I simply said, if you can balance it using math, and in your head, that is absolutely okay too, and you're able to do that. So by providing them with these options on what they thought would help them learn the best, or potentially even guiding them to what I thought would help them, and then going from there, it really did improve the lesson.
Thank you. Anjini, what does your ideal school look like?
So my ideal school would have a school where students are excited to come to school and have a lot of school spirit and school pride, as well as the teachers. Because I believe that a place where students are proud to go there and teachers are proud to work there is an amazing school. Students want to come to class, they want to learn, and teachers want to teach, which I think is really important for an amazing school. As well, teachers and students are both heavily involved in extracurricular activities where they're able to develop those positive relationships, not only in the class, but outside of the class too. And they're able to teach one another, they're able to show their interests, and I think that's really important in creating a positive school environment, as well as administration who are encouraging to both their students and teachers and really get to know everyone in the school to help everyone succeed.
Thank you very much. My final question, Anjini, what would your last practicum teacher say are your strongest attributes as a beginner teacher?
I think one of them would definitely be my passion for teaching. I absolutely love teaching, whether that's teaching in front of the class, teaching with using labs, different hands-on activities, walking around and through observations and discovery. I absolutely love it, and I do spend a lot of time improving my teaching as well, whether that's getting feedback from the students and getting ideas from other teachers as well as from my practicum host teachers as well. And I think a second attribute would be willing to take risks and using creativity in my lessons. So I did a lot of research, whether that was talking to past teachers, talking to teachers in the science department who have knowledge on teaching these subjects, or even extending it to my curriculum teachers currently and getting different resources that I think would best suit my students and modifying them to get to know my students. And the last one would probably be learning about my students and catering my lessons to them. So when I asked for feedback from my students, one current theme that kept on coming back was that I really do care about my students and I get to know them. And even with my lesson with the analogies, I was able to create that by really understanding my students' likes and dislikes, which helps them become engaged in the lesson and in the class.
Okay, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.